Brisbane. Queensland versus New Zealand. Your commentators, Billy J. Smith and Mick Fevers.
And a very good evening. Welcome to Lang Park. Beautiful, fine conditions out here. A little bit nippy, but not too bad. The match, of course, as you just heard, is one between Queensland and New Zealand. New Zealand preparing for their test series against England, of course, which will be later on this year following their tour of Australia. A different New Zealand side to the one we saw last year when they did play Australia in that test match, and they won that one. There's only 3 of those players returning here to Lang Park tonight. Queensland, of course, being led for the first time tonight by Mal Meninga. And I think, Mick, that might be just the kick that big Mal needs.
Yes, he needs a bit of a kick. As I said last weekend, I watched him play, and he didn't play badly. It was just his kicking that put him off and put him off his game totally, I feel. Let's hope it doesn't happen tonight. And as you said, Bill, a bit of responsibility might be the medicine.
Let's have a look at the teams. Firstly, for Queensland, the fullback is Colin Scott. The wingers are Joe Kilroy and Dale Shearer, the country boy. Good to see him in the side too. He performed very well in the Winfield State League. He has a busy program this week. We thought we were busy, Mick. He plays here tonight for Queensland and for Queensland Country against Easts in the National Panasonic Cup match tomorrow night at Leichhardt Oval in Sydney. The centres are Mal Meninga and Brett French. The 5'8" is Grant Ricks. Halfback is Ross Henrik. The lock forward, Bob Lindner. In the second row, we have the 2 Eastern Suburbs players, Cavill Hugh and Gavin Jones. In the front row is Richie Paulson, Eddie Muller and Bob Kellaway. And that's not a bad Queensland side, despite the fact that those test players, of course, are ineligible. They're in Sydney preparing for the test on Saturday.
And Fullerton Smith had to drop out. It's a big pack, mobile, and let's hope they defend like the Queenslanders did the other night.
OK, here's New Zealand, just waiting for them to come out onto the field. And here they go. They're being led tonight by the 5'8", David Field. He's the captain of the New Zealand side. And let's have a look at their lineup here tonight. There's Graham Lowe shaking hands with his players as they come through the gate. New Zealand team is fullback Nick Wright. Now, the wingers are Joe Rapati and Martin Creaker. In the centres, it's Dean Bell and Ron O'Regan. 5'8" is David Field, and the halfback is Clayton Friend. The lock forward is Hugh McGahn. In the second row, it's Owen Wright and Russell Tuta. And the front row is Ricky Cowan, Wayne Wallace and Vern Wilson. I might point out, Mick, that I've checked with the New Zealand management on the pronunciation of a couple of those names. So for any of those New Zealanders that might be watching and they have a complaint about them, please ring the Park Royal and ask for Jim Campbell tomorrow morning. Don't ring us. He takes full responsibility. Referee tonight is Eddie Ward, and Eddie, of course, I'd say Mick will relish the chance to get back into representative football. He's hasn't had the best of runs as of late.
No, he hasn't had a good run at all. It is good to see him. He's a top referee, this fellow. And let's hope he has a good game. Now I've said that about him early in the match.
Right, we'll just get ready for the two teams. They've both been locked in conversation at either end of the field. Now they're coming up with Queensland coming from the northern end of the ground here at Lang Park. New Zealand side with a bit to prove here tonight. As I said, only 3 of those players have played in the test match last year here at Lang Park against Australia. That's Nick Wright, the fullback, the winger Joe Rapati and Dean Bell, who's playing in the centres here tonight. So they're the only 3. The rest of them, of course, most of them have played in England during the season over there and haven't arrived back in New Zealand as yet.
Tell you what, though, as soon as they don that Guernsey for New Zealand, these fellows, they get a few more yards of pace and a little more keenness. They won't be easy targets at all.
Dean Bell, by the way, spent the off-season with Leeds, and McGahn was a representative in the Oceania team that played against Europe in that 50th anniversary match in France not so very long ago. And here's one of the men that was over there for that Oceania team, and he's about to kick off now. That's the Queensland captain in Mal Meninga. So they're on their way in this international between Queensland and New Zealand. And I might say, Mick, that it is a disappointing crowd here at Lang Park for this international match tonight.
Yes, it is, Bill. I know we're on. People will be viewing this at 9:30, but it is a little sad. Of course, they're a little spoiled, aren't they, with that state of origin, I would imagine.
I think it's a bit of an anticlimax to come back after that. And here's New Zealand now in position. They're just down on their own quarter line at this stage. And from the play the ball, crossfield. Coming up there is Russell Tuta. They're still on the quarter line. Gavin Jones over the top. The man going in underneath there for Queensland was Richie Paulson. So now here's the kick upfield by Wright. Colin Scott going back. The ball bouncing away from him. But all those players are offside, of course, so they'll have to let him come up. But it's very quickly picked up by Henrik. He got it away to Colin Scott. Scott tackled right on the quarter line. The man getting underneath is O'Regan. So it's Queensland just coming into New Zealand territory now via a run there by Bob Kellaway.
Needs to have a big game tonight. Kellaway too for Queensland.
Henrik getting it across into Paulson, turning it back inside. This is Gavin Jones. Jones about 5 metres inside New Zealand territory. Dummy half is Eddie Muller. Muller over to Henrik. Henrik to Mal Meninga. Meninga with his pass on to Colin Scott. Away it goes to Bobby Lindner. Lindner's on the move. Got away from McGann's tackle. Coming at him from behind was Wallace. He got the pass back inside to Muller. Muller eventually knocked over about 15 metres out from the New Zealand line.
Oh, Lindner's showing his wares immediately in this game.
Okay, he'll cross over there to Grant Ricks. Ricks is going to be tackled by Owen Wright. They got it to Meninga, then to Colin Scott. Scott outside very quickly. Lindner turning it around. And the man to go to the ground with the ball over there will be Dale Shearer. He's been a success story in the Winfield State League, Nick, and I hope he goes well tonight. Here's the kick. Going through over there is French. It's lost to the in-goal area, but it's going to be a penalty now.
And to Queensland. Wasn't offside. I tell you what, Henrik was bowled head over turkey after that kick, and maybe that was what it was for.
I'd say that'd be it, Mick, because...
Here it is. Watch Henrik on the replay. Here comes the kick, and look at this.
Yes, the man shoulder charging him there was a front row, Wilson.
The biggest man attacking the littlest.
He is a rather large lad. So there's the ball just rolling away. So that's the penalty. A chance now for Queensland to get the first points on the board after only 2.5 minutes of play.
And Meninga going for his first kick. And I tell you what, very similar to the first one that he missed in the State of Origin.
He, of course, 2 out of 8 for Mal Meninga last Tuesday night. But I felt, Mick, that towards the end of it, he was starting to get back online.
I think he was starting to, seeing Queensland were winning too, he was feeling much relieved, because if he had relied on his kicking, well, it would have been a disaster.
Yes, he wouldn't have lived with that too well. Anyway, that was last week there.
Over and done with.
That's right. Although there's still a lot of talk about that match, Mick. I don't know about you, but...
Oh, yes, they're all talking about that one.
Here's Meninga coming up for the shot at goal, and there's no doubt about it. It's through for the first points on the board. Queensland are 2 and New Zealand 0. So we move back onto the halfway mark now. Well, that'll give Meninga plenty of confidence, I would feel, even though it wasn't a difficult kick. Never looked like missing. It was as straight as a gun barrel. So back onto the halfway mark now. And New Zealand about to start our play with their fullback in Nick Wright. Deep down into Queensland territory. Back there is Brett French. He'll run up into the field of play now. Ooh, there was a big arm going around the top from Wallace. And it's Wilson there, putting on a bit again. Turning around is Paulson. Paulson a strong run this time. He's up to about 30 metres out from the Queensland line. Good work.
New Zealand usually strong in the middle, a bit soft so far.
Yes. Back to Grant Ricks, who's going to size it up well. He puts the boot underneath it. Going back over there for New Zealand is Creaker. Creaker up and down. Crashing tackle this time by Gavin Jones. He'll play the ball though. Coming into it is Wright. Wright will be knocked down a few metres inside Queensland territory. Dummy half waiting for it is Wallace. Wallace back over to his half-back in Friend. Friend outside then to Tuta. Wallace again as the dummy half. That's the halfway mark you can see there. Over then to the front row of Cowan. Plenty of Queensland defence there.
Come across, man.
I was just talking to Arthur Beetson before the match, Mick, and he was just a little bit worried about geeing up this side with quite a few young fellas in here. Not much of a crowd. Grant Ricks out after it. Injured as he dived for it.
I thought it might have been Lindner.
It is Lindner.
Yes, he...
Not that you can tell by that, that position.
But, yes, bit of a knee in the back, accidentally.
So the scrum to pack down. A few metres inside Queensland territory. Referee Eddie Ward talking to both of those front rows. Down they go in by Henrik. He'll dive on it at the back of the scrum. But he's knocked it on, says referee Eddie Ward. McGann was all over the top of him at that stage.
Yes, he was all over him like a rash.
So referee Ward waiting now for halfback Friend to feed. Just have a look at this hooker Wallace in there, Mick.
Well, he's facing the wrong way for starters.
He does it just as they go to pack down. Down they go again. Referee Ward gives a penalty to New Zealand now after all of that. Well, it doesn't augur too well if we're going to have trouble with those scrums.
They look a bit of a mess.
Nick Wright, the fullback, the man to kick for touch. Queensland leading New Zealand by 2 points to 0 here at Lang Park. 6 minutes of play gone so far. Not a great deal in it at the moment. Both teams virtually sorting each other out, but we did see a good attacking run here the Queensland side, which started with Bobby Lindner. Crashing through there is Wilson. But the ball is going to roll loose. Diving at it originally was Wright. But now a penalty to Queensland.
Holding back the player trying to get the ball. The man's Owen Wright.
So Grant Ricks will be the man to keep the touch. Big pair of shoes for him to fill tonight. At number 6, usually worn by Wally Lewis.
Yes, and he's only 18. A kid from the Downs.
But a lot of potential, Nick.
Oh, yes, yes. This will do him the world of good.
Well, an ideal opportunity to blood a few fellows for seasons ahead. And obviously that's what New Zealand is doing here tonight. Gee, there's plenty of defence coming there to attempt to knock down the front rower in Bobby Kellaway. Back inside, this is Cavill-Hugh. McGann trying to get the ball for New Zealand, but Eddie Muller dives on it. Touched by the opposition. There's another 6 tackles. Lindner is the dummy half. Bob Lindner back over to Henrik. Henrik outside, then to Paulson. Paulson about 25 metres inside New Zealand territory. This is Gavin Jones. McGann, the tackler.
Holding the ball well tonight, Gavin. He usually comes on in representative games, and of course it's not the best time to come on, and a bit nervous, drops the ball, but he settled down quickly. Good to see.
Queensland forwards making some good ground there. Here's Joey Kilroy coming through. Henry copped another one, and that will be another penalty.
Oh, Clayton Friend did not miss him. As you will see on the replay, he's basically forearm jolted him, and that's the only way to put it. Here it is. Here's the short kick, and whack. There it is. Tell you what, he's in heaps of trouble early, Henrik.
Yes, that's 2 times he's been knocked down now. Referee Eddie Ward spoke to Clayton Friend for some time. But there's the penalty for Queensland. And as you can see, little Rossi Henrik, for his size, Mickey takes plenty of punishment, doesn't he?
Oh, he's a tough little cookie. But that was no miss, I assure you, at home viewers. He's a little bit rickety, Kate.
Might have another look at that one too, Mick. It'll...
Here it is. Oh,
oh yes, you can just see it right at these. Fell very heavily there.
The magic of the sponge and the smelling salts is doing its work.
Well, I think he needs all the help he can get at the moment. But he's taking advantage of the time that he has to get his breath and everything else back. Meanwhile, Mal Meninga is lining up for the shot at goal. Queensland are leading by 2 points to 0. A little bit of a breeze coming downfield. Meninga not happy with the alignment of the ball. Henrik, meanwhile, is back on his feet. So here's Mal. Getting ready for the shot at goal. 9 minutes of the match gone so far. Plenty of concentration going into it. He's on his way in. No doubt about that one either. That's straight as a die. So Queensland have a lead at Lang Park of 4 points to 0.
The champions unleashed evermore.
I can feel the 4X coming on. I can feel the 4X coming on. Got the taste for it, just can't wait for it. I can feel a 4X coming on. I can feel a 4X coming on. I can feel a 4X coming on. Got the taste for it, just can't wait for it. I can feel a 4X coming on. I can feel a 4X coming on. I can feel a 4X coming on. Got the taste for it, just can't wait for it. I can feel a 4X coming on.
Back onto the halfway now, ready for the kickoff, and it's Nick Wright from New Zealand to get the ball in motion. Drives it deep down once again into Queensland territory. That's Colin Scott, the fullback. Scott taking it up, but will be tackled up there by McGann. Joey Kilroy is the dummy half. That was an interesting bit when we saw that little kick go through by Rossi Henrik. Joe Kilroy was out after it. This is Bobby Lindner. Back it goes to Grant Ricks. Well, Cavill-Hugh on that occasion, back to Grant Ricks. Dummy half Muller. This is Kellaway. Has Lindner outside of him on this occasion. But he gets a pass back the other way to Muller. Henrik onto Grant Ricks. Got away from McGann. Ricks up the centre. Ooh, did he get it away? The ball rolling loose. Dived at it, and a New Zealand ball. Clayton Friend, the halfback, plays it back over there to Wallace. Then Field outside to Wright. Wright upended in the tackle.
That was a tremendous tackle.
Bobby Lindner was the man responsible for it, Mick. There's the front row. Wilson going through. He's up over the quarter line, but eventually Meninga coming in over the top. The man underneath was Bob Kellaway. New Zealand down inside the Queensland quarter line. Friend getting it back the other way this time. That is Cowan. Crossover then to the winger coming up in Creeker. Tackler is Shearer, the Queensland winger. Wallace back over to Friend, to Fields. They keep it going. Quick hands. This is Dean Bell. Bell on his way through. He's going to score. Dean Bell is over for the first try of the match, and it goes to New Zealand.
And a good try to New Zealand. They're running onto the ball. Basically, this is the first time we've seen them cleanly handle the ball, and they did a good job. Dean Bell, very, what shall we say, strong about that run. He didn't muck about. Didn't even bother to look for supports. Actually, there weren't too many sitting outside him.
Is he going to see replay coming away right now? And let's have a look at it. It was the centre O'Regan getting it on quickly there to Bell. Broke through a couple of tackles. Now, those two players have collided. One of them is still down at the moment. Cavill-Hugh was one. There's Bell going over for the try with Kilroy diving at him right on the line. Now, you'll see that collision. Grant Ricks is the other player. There's Hugh coming across field, Ricks from the other, and they both collided and went down very heavily. That's Bell on his way through, chased by Kilroy, but he's in for the try.
The mouth guard flew out and all too, Bill.
Grant Ricks is still lying down on the ground. He's prostrate at this stage. Face down, and the trainer there with him. And it doesn't look too hot there, I'd say, at this stage. Let's hope he's just resting, Mick.
Well, he may as well take advantage while he can.
Here's Nick Wright attempting to convert the try. It's away to the left-hand side of the uprights. So the score remains 4 points all. There's Graham Lowe. Has the big hat on. He's ready for action.
There's another man sitting in the end of the box we know too. Yeah.
So back onto the halfway mark now. Grant Ricks is okay. Back onto his feet. Mal Meninga to kick off. 13 minutes of the first half gone. New Zealand scoring the only try of the match so far, but it's 4 points all. That's Creeker, the winger, setting sail up that touchline before Muller comes in to take care of him. Also over there is Cavill-Hugh, so that bump on the head hasn't worried him at this stage. Tutu is the man through there. This is Wallace.
Queensland allowing these fellas to run a little bit from dummy half. They'll have to get up quicker than this.
Cowan. Cross over to Friend, then on to Wilson. Dummy half Wallace. Wallace swinging it back to Wright, who'll put the boot underneath it right on the quarter line. Going back is Joey Kilroy. Also there is Colin Scott. Scott will be the first one there. Decides to have a bit of a run. Gets away from the centre in Bell. Up to the quarter line before he'll be held up. Ooh, coming in over there is O'Regan. Trying to put him down, but Colin Scott won't have any of that. Kilroy away from dummy half. Chased over there by O'Regan.
I think he put another one in then too, just for good measure, Bill.
He's a bit of a lively customer, this fellow. Back on to Grant Ricks, and he's going to put the boot right underneath it, but it's straight down the throat of Nick Wright, the fullback. Wright running it out. He's coming up to the halfway mark. Bumped away from the tackle this time of Bobby Lindner. So quickly playing it away from dummy half is Creeker, then to Field. Oh, it's going to be lost, or rather Friend, then lost. Coming up onto it there was Wilson. And so we'll have a knock on a few metres inside Queensland territory. 4 points all at the moment here at Lang Park.
Grant Ricks not quite got his sea legs back yet.
There's the halfback Clayton Friend. Now getting his pass away to Field. Back inside it goes this time to Rapati. Rapati tackled. Nice covering tackle this time by the front rower in Paulson. But New Zealand on the attack again. This is Cowan up over the quarter line. He got away from the tackle there of the front row. Paulson. New Zealand on the rampage. Gavin Jones the man to come in for the tackle, but away from dummy half it'll be Wallace. They keep it going. Onto the big front rower there in Wilson. Wilson knocked over. Still about 20 metres out from the Queensland line. Dummy half is Wallace. Wallace swinging it away. O'Regan puts in the kick. Bounces off Paulson. So New Zealand retained possession. That's Dean Bell getting up to play it. Dummy half is Wallace. He'll send it back on then to Owen Wright. Over the top, it's Wallace keeping it going. But eventually the tackle from little Henrik and also Cavalier. Dummy half up there is Field. Back to Friend, puts the boot underneath it. Not a bad one either. Going up is Colin Scott, but McGann takes it straight out of his arms, and that's a try. Jumped up right in front of him and in for the try. New Zealand with a lead of 8-0.
Oh, dear me, and Queensland in heaps of trouble. New Zealand certainly got their tails up. And, well, just a straight ahead bomb. Nothing about it. A good little kick here, too, from the half-back field. He puts it up beautifully, and Scott's ready for it.
There's McGann coming through. Scott goes up. McGann bumps him out of the road and takes it and in for what ended up a pretty simple drive.
Yes, and I tell you what, it could be worth 6 points, that one, Bill, I think.
Yes, there's Friend, the halfback, putting the ball up. There's Colin Scott coming into it now, but McGann never took his eyes off the ball. Jumps straight up in front of Colin Scott, takes it and is in for the try. So the lock forward for New Zealand. And they have 2 tries on the board at this stage.
And they're looking 2 tries better than our fellows, unfortunately, at this stage.
So now it's Nick Wright, unsuccessful with his attempt to convert the try before from Bell, Dean Bell. So let's see what they can do with this one. A little bit simpler. Looks like a change coming up in the Queensland lineup. Kicker's going to be unsuccessful. So it's New Zealand leading by 8-4. Tony Curry is the man coming to the sideline, and Brett French will be the man to leave the field. Brett French leaving. Seems to be favouring an ankle there. There he is. So, where will we see Curry go into the centres? I presume that's what they'll do.
Yes, well, he's a
pretty adaptable sort of a player.
Yes, he's a real utility player, all right.
This is the front rower there in Wilson.
Bit of an opportunity for him too, Bill. He's well, he had a down season last year. Get him up again.
Well, he had that trouble with the arm, didn't he?
Yeah.
So now it's New Zealand in full cry at the moment here at Lang Park. Half back there in Friend. Dummy half is Wallace. Wallace swinging away to Field. Field off the side of the boot that time. It's racing back there towards Colin Scott, though, bouncing away from him. Down inside his own quarter. Up over that line now. Away from O'Regan's tackle.
Tell you what, they're not mucking around either, these Kiwis. They're getting right into it.
Joey Kilroy's up as dummy half. New Zealand lead by 8-4. This is Kellaway. Dummy half is Eddie Muller. Referee Ward telling New Zealand to get back on side over there. Henrik turns it on this time to Bobby Lindner. Lindner wrapped up in the tackle, though. The man underneath there was Wayne Wallace, the hooker. Away from dummy half. Coming up there is Paulson. Got it around the corner, but sent it straight there to Wayne Wallace. So New Zealand breaking away with it again. Coming through there is Clayton Friend. Field the dummy half. Field across to O'Regan. Then on to Rapati. Rapati taken by Joey Kilroy. Head on. Put him down, ball and all.
He's going to crawl towards the touchline.
Yes, he kept on going, Rapati, on that occasion. Field sending it across over there to Owen Wright. Ball rolling loose after that pass. Queensland end up with it. So it's Henrik. Over to Gavin Jones. Jones up the centre. McGann and also Wilson, the tacklers. Dummy half will be Eddie Muller. Muller up the centre looking for support. Got his pass away to Jones. Back inside it goes to Kellaway. This is more like it. On there to Henrik. Henrik bowled over though by his opposite number in Friend. Not exactly being friendly on that occasion. So Tony Curry from dummy half to Cavalier. Henrik then on to the front rower in Paulson, then back inside to Henrik. Henrik jumped on over there this time by Wallace after he'd well and truly been stopped.
That's a second tackle. And these guys, I tell you what, they're good at putting it in. They've always been good. They even gave us a work over in New Zealand when I used to play. And they're tough customers.
Well, they turned it on last year when they beat Australia in that test match here. Very solid stuff. So it's going to be Melbourne Inga to have another shot at goal.
These Queensland lads, they'll know they've been through a game, no matter how it finishes up. Herd of elephants running over them.
Yes, they're not messing about at this stage. So it's Meninga. Halfway through the first half here at Lang Park, this international match with New Zealand leading by 8 points to 4 and scoring 2 tries to none at this stage, and they appear as the better side at the moment, but we still have 60 minutes of football remaining.
Well, Queensland came back a little there. It was good to see from some very good in close passing, as good as you'd ever see.
So here's Mal on his way. Nice and high. Direction looks all right to me. Direction is good. New Zealand lead by 8 points to 6 here at Lang Park.
The champions unleashed evermore.
Back onto the halfway mark now. Ready for the kick-off. 2 points the difference, but it is 2 tries to none at the moment.
And just as well, Mal's kicking well. He's keeping Queensland in touch.
Yes, well, if he had been in the form of last week, we would be in a little bit of trouble at the moment. But he doesn't look like missing at this stage.
Oh, no, he's changed player tonight.
Tony Curry back to Cavill-Hugh.
He's playing well, Cavill-Hugh.
Meninga lets it go. Kellaway. Ooh, a long one over there.
Oh.
It's a bit of danger. Gavin Jones going back. He'll take it in the end goal area and bowled over there by Wilson. Scrappy stuff.
Actually, Queensland didn't have any support out wide, and they were trying to fling it wide, but there was no one there. Trying the right thing, but not the time to do it, Bill.
Meninga with a drop out from underneath the... Well, he's handed a cross over there this time to Grant Ricks. So Ricks puts it up nice and high. Back underneath it will be the 5'8" in field. He in turn gets it onto McGahn. McGahn tackled by Henrik and also Ricks. A friend over the right through his hands. A little bit of trouble over there for New Zealand, but O'Regan the man to end up with it.
Tell you what, that Bob Linder's everywhere tonight so far.
Dummy half moving up there is Rapati. No, it wasn't. It was the hooker rather in Wallace. I wonder how Rapati would get over there. He's on this wing on this side.
And that was a good tackle from Kellaway. Jolting tackle. Queensland could get back into the game if they can win this scrum.
Now there's that hooker, Mick. Have a look at him. He puts his back to the opposing team and then joins up at the scrum.
And it's putting Muller off too a little. He doesn't know whether to go down or what's going on.
Well, it's unusual. I haven't seen that before, have you?
Yes, once before.
Who did it?
The fellow before Konescu. Trying to...
Maxi Krilich.
That's the man that did it.
Right, here's Mal Meninga. So they've lost the ball.
And I went off because he was trying to do the right thing, but it was sort of tapped down.
Taking it up there is Wright, Owen Wright, the second rower. There are 2 Wrights here, Nick Wright, the fullback, and Owen in the second row. So this is O'Regan. Pass on then to Cowan. Cowan well wrapped up. 8 points to 6, New Zealand. Wallace from dummy half, over to Friend, then to Field. There's a good tackle. Bob Kellaway again.
The scar is getting serious.
Back onto Wright. Wright puts it up high, very high as a matter of fact. You'll see it come down shortly, which it does. The man underneath is Tony Curry. Dummy half is Henrik. Cross onto Colin Scott. And it ripped out of his hands there, and that'll be a penalty. So penalties at this stage, they're going Queensland way by 5-1.
Well, we can't say we're getting enough penalties to keep us out of trouble. Here's the replay, and you can see him reef the ball. It'll come shortly. There it is there.
So the kick for touch. Bringing play up to... That's a good kick. It's about 15 metres inside New Zealand territory.
These Queensland youngsters in the forwards are going well. Cavill-Hugh and company. Gavin Jones.
Henrik sends it on to Gavin Jones. There's the bust for the big second rower. He's stretching out nicely. Kenny, he tried to get it away then to the backup coming through from Tony Curry, but it's a knock on. Yes. He almost got away from Dean Bell there at the last bit too.
Yes, it's a pity it was a one-handed pass and not 2 hands on the ball. Good bust. Just speaking about him, and caramba.
Here's a scrum to pack down just inside the New Zealand quarter line. The man going to the ground there with it is Friend.
He's a tough little nut.
Actually, the 2 halves are going pretty well for New Zealand at the moment. Dummy half Wallace. Cross over there to that front rower in Cowan. Wallace back onto Friend. Going back the other way this time is Owen Wright. Was travelling well until Gavin Jones appeared on the scene. Man over the top is Eddie Muller, but New Zealand keep it moving. Bounces away from O'Regan. Bell will be the one with it. Shaped for a bit of a kick and then decided to run, and Richie Paulson came in with the tackle. Here's the final tackle for New Zealand. Back it goes to Wright. Puts the boot underneath it. Linda was charging at him, but he stepped back the other way. Here's Dale Shearer going after it. Shearer will take it. So the Queensland country representative in the side brings it up to just short of the quarter line. Dummy half is Tony Curry. Going in is Colin Scott, stepping through nicely. He'll play it. Dummy half is Muller. Cavill Hugh, well wrapped up. He's lost it. Field, the man who quickly jumped at him.
Yes, he was trying to get it away quickly. There's Arthur Beetson, anxiously watching this side. Beside him, of course, the manager.
Henrik with a bit of blood coming from his nose. I'm not surprised, Mick. Knock on by Rossi Henrik at the back of the scrum.
Yes, he's had a torrid start to the game.
A couple of heavy knocks early in the match. So that'll be Friend to feed. Being pursued by Henrik. The dummy half is Creaker. Creaker straight ahead. Plenty of Maroon up there. New Zealand have a 2-point advantage over Queensland at this stage. It's 8 points to 6. Working it across field. That's O'Regan. Got away from Cavill Hugh, but Henrik's the man underneath. Dummy half is Field. They work the blind side to Friend, then away very quickly. Around the corner, it's going to be lost by McGahn, scooped up by Tuta.
Oh, and that was a good break by New Zealand.
Yes, Owen Wright was the man who broke away around there.
Yes, and they look dangerous. Such a pity for them they dropped the ball, but good luck to Queensland.
Right, Ross Henrik to feed. Straight out the centre. Look for it to go in again. There's that hooker. He's out right out of business now.
He's going to have a yarn to it, I think, Eddie Ward, in a minute.
Goodness gracious. Be a penalty to Queensland out of all of that.
Actually, it was beginning to look like a New Zealand ruck there for a moment.
So the man to kick the touch for Queensland is Grant Ricks.
They probably should have said a rugby union ruck.
Is he going to find touch? No, he's not.
Mistake.
Taken back there nicely by Nick Wright, the fullback. Stepping through still. Now sends a pass back to no one, but eventually the other right. That's Owen will go back to pick it up. But that was a bad miss. Got to find that touchline. So back on then to the big front rower in Wilson. Two hard-running front rowers, Cowan and Wilson. Dummy half is Wallace. Back on then to Field, rather. Dean Bell knocked over solidly by Tony Curry. Ball and all, but now a penalty New Zealand.
There mightn't be too many here, but they're extremely vocal, letting Eddie Ward know that that's what New Zealand have been doing. Why can't the Queenslanders? And there it is. He's just hanging on to him, and now he gets up. He did fiddle around a bit.
Meanwhile, Nick Wright, the fullback, received a bit of attention. They strapped up his ankle. This kick will find touch. Play moving up to 12 metres inside Queensland territory. Onto the mark is Friend. He turns it away. Back on then to Wilson. After Owen Wright was in there. Wallace. Field. Reverses. That's McGahn. Not sure where it is. Eventually Queensland have it though. This is Bobby Lindner. Lindner knocked over quite solidly there. 5 metres short of the halfway mark. Away from dummy half is Paulson. Ooh, coming through quickly there was Friend. Knocking over Rossi Henrik, who's had a torrid first half here, and he's not too good at the moment. Rick's putting in a little kick. He's following out after it. Who ends up with it? No one. Mal Meninga knocks it on, knocks it forward. It's dived on by New Zealand, so they get possession. And the man to play was Creaker over there. This is Field. Over the top, Kellaway.
He's getting through plenty of work.
Dummy half, Wallace. On then to the front rower, Cowan. Back inside nicely, cutting his way through is Rapati. Rapati getting up to Scott, but Scott will pull him down just short of the quarter line. Played quickly, Wallace, New Zealand keep it boiling. Field on then to O'Regan, back inside to Wilson. Wilson about 25 metres out from the Queensland line.
Oh, great tackle by Scott because he had about 9 metres to the sideline.
O'Regan turns it back to right, then on it goes this time to Field. Field right on the quarter, the final tackle coming up. Dropping up his dummy half is Tuta. There's the kick through in by Friend. Dale Shearer bowled out of the way. The ball rolls loose. Can New Zealand get it? It's going to be diving into the corner, but a knock on. Knock on.
By Jove, that was a top tackle. It was well taken by Shearer. Here's the replay. And I think it was a lock forward, wasn't it? Hugh McCann coming through. And whoomp.
Dived that over there by Creaker. Going to be picked up by Bell, but there was the knock on coming in there.
He could have been offside if they wanted to play it that way.
So it's McGann from dummy half. Back onto Fields. New Zealand in a good chance to put on more pressure, but they've lost the ball. Grant Ricks getting away to Mal Meninga. Meninga to Curry, then away to Kilroy, who had to go back to pick it up and has knocked it on. Crowd not happy about it.
I don't know if that one touched the ground. It must have. Did you see it touch the ground?
I think it did, Mick, yeah. Let's have another look anyway.
Quick one on, oh dear me.
Yeah, touch the ground, all right.
Yep.
There's Joey Kilroy, eager to get into the action. He'll be able to do it right now. McGann chases him around the back of the scrum and puts him down. Henrik is dummy half. New Zealand lead by 8 points to 6. Colin Scott up over the quarter line. Now, where's the support? Meninga positions inside, but he's running across to the wing. He's over the halfway mark. He's turning back the other way. He saw Meninga then. He's back to Meninga. Meninga got it on this, then to Shearer. Shearer with a pass outside. And a good run. Man to go down with it over there was Tony Curry. Henrik, then to Ricks. On to Paulson. Paulson to Lindner. Lindner cracking on the pace. He's up over the quarter. Now gets it away to Gavin Jones. Jones to Kilroy, but it bounces out of his hands and into touch.
Oh,
there'd been a knock on earlier in there.
And pity for Kilroy, even though it had been a knock on. Oh, that was good stuff, as you can see on the replay. They really flung it. Lindner thought he'd have a go, and then he gave it to Jones, and Jones did well. Took the ball and the tackle at the same time.
So now the little halfback in Friend is the man with the ball. 7 minutes remaining in the first half.
And you're right about those two halves, Friend and Field. The two Fs giving us a lot of trouble in there.
Wallace away from dummy half. That's Wilson. So we have a couple of W's too, Farmer.
Yes, that's true.
And here's one of them, Wallace, sending it across. Nice feed to the winger, Rapati. Little Henrik underneath. He might have copped a couple of bumps, Mick, but he hasn't let up.
Oh, he won't let up until they carry him off.
Tudor across over there to Friend. Friend in turn on to Cowan. There's a knock on in there. Well, New Zealand have scored 2 tries to 0 at this stage of the match.
But Queensland looking good in attack. It's just a pity Colin Scott didn't look back inside when he made that break. Meninga did get there in the long run.
Yes,
Took him a while.
Well, he positioned himself, but he was heading towards Shearer's wing, but he had trouble linking up with him also. By the time he found Malbers in there, it was a little bit too late, unfortunately.
Well, Tony Curry did well to get over there and support too.
So it's Cowan to kick the touch for New Zealand.
Tell you what, he's wearing a lot of padding plus shin pads. This fella, you don't see shin pads too often these days.
A bit of a cut to the lip too. Kick will find touch though. This is 25 metres out from the Queensland line. And the Kiwis will take the tap from there. Onto the mark is Friend. Friend running right across field. Who's he going to link up with? Links up with his hooker Wallace. On there to McGann. McGann nicely tackled by Henrik again. Just short of the quarter line. Field onto Friend, then O'Regan, then to Bell. Tony Curry coming through, but back it goes to O'Regan. A long one across to Wilson. Wilson up the centre. Cavill Hughes there, so too is Gavin Jones. Jones puts him down with a little help coming in over the top from Henrik. So Wallace to play it. Take it rather as the dummy half on then to Cowan. And a penalty, New Zealand. Stealing the ball. And will they have rights? Have a shot at goal?
Linda didn't look too well then. He's all right now. You watch this replay. He goes whack. He copped one, and he wasn't feeling. He's still yanking at the ball, but he wasn't feeling too well after that. He got one under the throat.
So it is Nick Wright to kick for touch. Oh, to kick for goal rather. Once again, he's had 2 attempts so far, but has been unsuccessful.
And this is a terrific match, Bill. This.
Yes, it's worked into a very good affair. I think we've got a good second half on our hands here, Michael.
Yes, we most certainly do.
Pity there aren't a few more people here to enjoy it. I know that both coaches rather will be a little bit disappointed. That's not a bad crowd shot if you're looking for a crowd, but it has built up a bit coming towards the start of the game. That's reasonable underneath us. I think we tend to forget it, those people under here.
Yes, we don't get to see those. That was a good rehearsed move by New Zealand too. A very deep switch of play and players running onto it, and we nearly cracked, except for Henrik being underneath the big forward.
It didn't look over impressive at the start, Nick, but it certainly, with McGahn coming onto it, it increased in momentum.
Worthwhile other coaches having a look at that one.
So here's Nick Wright, the fullback. Is he going to be successful this time? He certainly is. So New Zealand creep away with a lead of 10 points to 6.
The champions unleashed evermore.
Once again, Grant Ricks doing exactly what Wally Lewis did last Tuesday night. Ran it up and then Meninga straight underneath it. But New Zealand ready for it, and back there was Tuta. Tackler was Bob Kellaway. So now it's little halfback in Friend. On the field, O'Regan, McGahn.
Oh, well done, Curry again. He smothered the play. 3 players there, and he took the man out of play beautifully.
He's let them know he's been out on that field since he came on as a replacement. He's there for Brett French. So Field from dummy half. On then to Wright. Back inside to Tuta. Dummy half Wallace will swing it away to Nick Wright, the fullback. He gets his kick in. Colin Scott running across field, takes it nicely. Scott up to the halfway mark now. Can't get away from the tackle though. The man in underneath there was Dean Bell. That's Dale Shearer. Shearer thrown to the ground in the tackle of Tuta. Eddie Muller from dummy half. On then to Paulson.
Another forward who's playing well, but the ball's been stolen, and Paulson had to tell Eddie Ward, hey, he's got the ball.
So another penalty to Queensland. 7-4 penalties Queensland way. Scrums are going New Zealand way by 5-4. New Zealand have scored 2 tries. A couple of minutes remaining in this first half now. Mal Meninga is going to have another shot at goal. Don't say I blame him. He's been spot on here tonight. 100% record for the big Queensland centre. And on his kicking form alone tonight has signalled that he's not going to take it easy in attempting to get back into that test position. And Nick, I must admit, I was watching a video of the 82 Kangaroos the other night, and both Mal Meninga and Eric Groth really carved up the Englishman over there, and I think they would be very happy that either of them are not in the team on Saturday.
I'm sure they are.
By the way, we have a live and exclusive coverage of that test match on TVO Saturday afternoon at 3 from the Sydney Cricket Ground. How's this one? Waved away. Back there is McGahn. Decides to run it out. Gets a pass away nicely to Rapati. Rapati up again. But he's going to be forced into touch over it. Well, he had to keep going, didn't he?
Oh, yes. I tell you what, Joe Kilroy not having a... Yes, as you could hear, he wasn't pleased about that. We won't go into what he said. But something close to that, Bill. Joe Kilroy. See, not having a happy game in defence, Joe.
So the man with it is Bob Lindner. Kicked through on this occasion. Going back there is Paulson. Quickly cleared it. That was a pretty good move because he had the halfback Clayton Friend right on top of him. Colin Scott with it. So it's another 6 tackles after that kick through. Mal Meninga with it. Then Kellaway. Just about on half-time. Tries for New Zealand by Bell and McGahn. Right, 1 from 3 for Queensland. Meninga, 3 goals from 4 attempts. Scrums have gone 5 all at the half-time break, and the penalties are going Queensland way by 7-4. Been an entertaining first half. And there is the half-time hooter. So at half-time in this international match at Lang Park, New Zealand lead Australia by 10 points to 6.
The champions unleashed evermore.
Here for the second half of this match, and Mick, a pretty entertaining and certainly tough first half of this match here tonight.
Oh, it's certainly been tough, and you people that have stopped at home, you're missing a top match. The atmosphere tremendous, and Queensland doing their bit, this side, to hold out a very determined New Zealand side. Actually, most of them attempting to commit hari-kari in every tackle.
One replacement for the New Zealand lineup, and that's the second rower. Russell Tuta has been replaced by Chappie Pine. Chappie Pine. He'll be playing in jersey number 15. So we'll see how Chappie settles into things. By the way, the early match tonight, Mick, the jockeys and the apprentices played their second match of the year, and the jockeys superior again. They won by 2 points to 0. In the other match, Public Service defeated Metropolitan by 26 to 16, and Keebra Park High School down your way defeated Iona College 16 to 14.
And that's good news. They're the local boys, and I've got to support them.
Well, you've done that.
Oh, mate, they're a great side.
Dale's Hero playing it back to Eddie Muller. Tackler up there. One of them was Wayne Wallace, the hooker for New Zealand. There's a kick downfield by Grant Ricks. Going back is right. Bouncing just to the quarter line. Starting to run it out now. Bowled over in the tackle from Tony Curry. Dummy half over there is Rapati. Gee, he's a nice tough runner. This is Chappie Pine, the replacement player. Chappie having a bit of a laugh at Bob Kellaway. I don't know what he did to him or said to him. Is that front row Wilson again? A good strong runner, this fellow. Dummy half his friend, O'Regan, Bell. Like the look of him, Nick.
Yes.
O'Regan again.
He's strong too.
Up as dummy half will be Wallace. Wallace back over there to Field. Little chip kick through. Going up was Lindner. Ending up straight back into the hands this time of Eddie Muller.
And ran under Eddie Ward's armpit.
Dummy half is Kellaway. Ricks. He'll be tackled this time by Wright. Dummy half Muller. Henrik. Going to be lost over here by Friend. And a knock on is ruled.
And Henrik going down once again. And there's their coach for New Zealand, Graham Lowe.
There's that peak of the captain.
Looks like a jockey gone bad.
Looks like a regular weirdo there, Paul Graham. He's certainly not a weirdo when it comes to coaching. Here's Colin Scott. Just picked up over there by the tackle of Friend. That's Limner. He's about 8 metres inside New Zealand territory. Don't tell me he's knocked it on in there. Yes, he has. So we'll have a scrum. 10-6. New Zealand leading at the moment. Referee wants it in again. Friend, Clayton Friend, the halfback for New Zealand, lines up with it. And sends it away over there to Field. O'Regan onto right into the back line. Then away to Bell. This could be a bit of action. Bell on the way. Nice tackle by Colin Scott to put him down, though. That is the halfway mark, you can see. Dummy half is Creaker. Over to Field. O'Regan. Then Wilson. Wilson keeping it going. This is Wallace. Wallace about 5 metres short of the halfway mark. Dummy half O'Regan. Then on to Wright. Just on the halfway. Field, dummy half. He'll be put down, Gavin Jones. And also Holson. Pine back over to Friend. Friend doubling around O'Regan. Now sends it away to Rapati. Rapati, gee, he's a tough customer. He's still going. And eventually put over some 20 metres inside Queensland territory. Final tackle. So a long pass over to Field. Field going to kick for touch, but it's out on the full. Not too happy with himself. Threw his hands up into the air. There's a fullback right leaving the field. And it'll be Robin Alfeld to come on for New Zealand. Alfeld, number 14, to go back there to the fullback spot. So Nick Wright off and Alfeld on. So Ross Henrik to feed. Henley, New Zealand. So to kick for touch. Once again, it's the front row at Cowan. 4.5 minutes of the second half gone here at Lang Park. Reminder once again of our test match coverage. Australia and Great Britain, live and exclusive on TVO. That's Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock from the Sydney Cricket Ground. It'll be our first opportunity to really gauge the strength of this Great Britain side.
Unbeaten so far in this tour.
Looking forward to that match, Mick. And of course to see how Australia shapes up. Colin Scott with it.
Yes, it won't be a picnic or at all.
Richie Paulson. Kellaway. And then of course we line up on Sunday night with the match of the day here from Lang Park. Fredericks. Well wrapped up.
This is getting a very strong welcome to representative football, young Grant.
Here's Meninga. Driving it back towards Creaker. Creaker deciding to have a run. But put over by Lindner. Going up there is Alfeld. 5/8 field. Back on to Pine. Dummy half this time is Wallace. On then to Cowan. Cowan lost it on the halfway mark. Dived out by Wallace. Dropped back. Crowd not happy with it. Friend. Over to O'Regan. Knocked over by Gavin Jones. Final tackle. So back over there to Fields. Puts in the kick. Bounces off Henrik. Straight in the hands of Pye, but he's lost it. And Queensland end up with it. Eddie Muller. So away from dummy half is Bolton. Bolton about a metre inside New Zealand territory. Dummy half Eddie Muller. Back over to Henrik. Henrik outside then to Colin Scott's almost through. Getting a nice old workout over there too. From that front rower in Wilson. Wilson going through. But here it is. Jones bumping into Wilson. Underneath was Friend. Man over the top for New Zealand was Wright. Ooh, it's going to be knocked on there by Muller. No, it wasn't. He picked it up.
Oh, that was a knock on then. There's Bob McCarthy having a drink of coffee in the grandstand and enjoying the game.
Mal Meninga, big long one coming on to Lindner. Here's a go now. Lindner coming up towards the quarter line. Away to Meninga. This is the try they're looking for. Meninga streaking out and over underneath the post. Mal Meninga in. Queensland's first try of the match. It's taken 47 minutes to do it.
Oh, good play from Queensland, and this Lindner, a long pass. He picked it up beautifully, and I tell you what, pace to burn this fellow. He looked inside and could see Big Mal coming, went in, out again, set the fullback up, Robin Alfeld. He had no chance of stopping the play then, because Lindner took him out of play beautifully by straightening up, as you will see on the head-on replay.
So here's Lindner on the way now. O'Regan, no chance of getting near him. That's Tony Curry outside, but he looks inside and sees Mal Meninga there. Away to Meninga. He's stretching out for the line. No doubt about it. Over underneath the posts. And now attempting to convert the try. So it's 10-all. Meninga can put Queensland in front from here.
I'm still trying to remember the player who gave the long pass. Still as Meninga puts that one over.
And Queensland hit the front. They have a lead at the moment at Lang Park of 12 points to 10. So Meninga pretty much online tonight. 4 from 5. Plus the try. So it's a good night for him. So now, New Zealand, I feel, Mick, are certainly far from done.
Yes, that didn't even dent the sides, I don't think, Bill.
For a nice tough outfit.
Yes, they've been watching old Japanese movies for sure, I reckon.
Tell you what, Mick, if they get some of those players that were in England, they could give the English team a bit of a hurry up when they get across there later this year. And of course they have a tour next year.
And of course there's Graham in Sydney not even playing in this.
A few Sorensens running around, a few others. Well, they've got some nice wildies in there at the moment. Don't know whether they need the Sorensens. Here's the kick through by Henrik. Bounces. Going towards touch. Alfeld won't get it. Nice kick by Henrik. Well, we've seen him do it time after time.
I thought that one was going to elude him, though. Here it is on the replay. Alfield coming up to it. I tell you what, he wasn't set up with a very good bounce there, was he?
No, I think he was expecting it to bounce and roll on, but it didn't. It stopped and then went sideways. And now, player warming up there for Queensland is Tony Kajewski. Going in out after it. It's a knock on. So interesting to see who Kajewski will come on for, but we'll know in just a moment. Kajewski getting his chance now. And it is Cavill Hugh, the man to leave the field. Hugh is off, Kajewski on.
Well, he'll release the tough stuff.
And Bob Kellaway, of course, will now drop back into the second row posse. Here's Meninga. Meninga on the bustle again. Cutting across field. He got away from Dean Bell. He's back up over the quarter line. Nice strong run by Meninga.
Still seem to be doing it in slow motion, but a powerful player.
Curry getting it back to Kellaway. Kellaway about 12 metres out from the New Zealand line. Dale Shearer is the dummy half. Queensland have a lead of 12 to 10. Shearer back over to Henrik. Henrik to Ricks. Clearing it quickly, but it goes. Oh, Gavin Jones ended up with it. Then away this time loose Colin Scott. Scott will be pulled down to the tackle of Bell. He'll play it. Kilroy from dummy half. Kilroy pressing his way through. Nice strong run. Plenty of determination there. Only a few metres out with the final tackle on its way. Henrik from dummy half. On there to Kajewski. Kajewski is only about a metre or so from the line, but he's lost it. New Zealand end up with it. Front row there is Wilson with it. Good spirited piece of play there by the Maroons. Another 6 tackles for New Zealand as he kicked through there by the marker. So it'll be Field getting it onto Pine. Pine's about 10 metres out from the New Zealand line.
Kajewski's jumping into it.
My word, he is. He's been sitting there waiting his chance. He's making the most of it now. Field is the dummy half. The Queensland lead is 12 points to 10. On then this time to that flying front rower over there in Wilson. Nice hard runner, this fellow. Ooh, and having a little swing over there at Eddie Muller. Obviously, Muller had done something to provoke him because the penalty goes to New Zealand.
Look, oh, there it comes. What's Muller doing? Oh, a bit of a swish.
I don't think it'd take much to provoke him either, Mick. And I wouldn't want to be the one to do it.
You've got to be wary of guys who've got tattoos on them. And he's got them all over his arm, Bill, I'll tell you. Both arms.
So now it's Friend to take the tap. Over to right, doubles around. Now he gets it on to Wilson. Somehow it keeps on going. This is Field. Field taken in the tackle by Ross Henrik.
Oh, top game of football, this.
We have our Canterbury Man of the Match award to make at the conclusion of this game, not forgetting the NEC try of the match. Muller's dummy half. Muller turns it back inside to right. Right to the halfway mark, unloaded to McGahn. McGahn taken on the tackle by Mal Meninga. But it's Field. On then to Cowan. They want to keep their defence nice and tight, Queensland. Hold this lot out. So back over there to Field. Friend. Then O'Regan. Long one over the top to Dean Bell. Bell starting to move. Still going as Bell. He's got a bit of toe, this fellow. He's up to the quarter line, but Colin Scott there. Final tackle's on its way. Friend. Field. Field going to put it up. Oh, lost over there by Shearer. And eventually Field will end up with it. Another 6 tackles.
It's a pity. Curry nearly had hold of it. He did the right thing, but just couldn't get to it.
So now this is Creaker. Creaker knocked over. 19 metres out from the Queensland line. Dummy half is Muller. Muller back onto Friend. Then to Cowan. McGann jolted in the tackle. Going to be picked up then by Pine. Pine got away from Colin Scott and he's in for the try. New Zealand with number 3 on the board.
Oh, and that was unfortunate for Queensland, but great play by New Zealand. They played on. That was a jolting tackle, but it ended up advantageous to Queensland. Here it comes. You'll see the tackle here.
Advantageous to New Zealand.
Yes, who did I say?
Queensland.
Oh, dear. I meant New Zealand, Bill. And, of course, Colin Scott, no chance of stopping Chappie Pine.
So the replacement player scores for New Zealand. Here it is again. There's that jolting tackle by Tony Curry. Geez, defence has been strong tonight. But Pine swooped on the loose ball. Up to Colin Scott. Bye-bye, Colin, and in for the try. So now it'll be Ron O'Regan taking over the kicking as Nick Wright has left the field. Wright tonight from New Zealand, 1 from 3.
And as you said, these boys far from done. When Mal Meninga scored that try for Queensland, they've come back strongly.
So it's O'Regan facing the ball and moving back now.
We take no responsibility, viewers, for anything you hear coming down the line. It has nothing to do with us.
Here's O'Regan away to the right-hand side of the upright. So put 2 points the difference here at Lane Park. New Zealand are 14 and Queensland are 12.
The champions unleashed evermore.
The time or what? Okay, here's the kickoff now. Dean Bell. Bell up to the quarter line.
Well, Queensland have to come back now quickly, Bill.
Yes,
they'll let these guys get away on them.
The pressure's on them here. McGann. Gavin Jones there. And also into the tackle was the replacement Kajewski. This is Wright. Rick started the tackle off, finished up by Henrik. Wilson. Cross on then to O'Regan. Lindner the tackler. Oh, wasn't it? It was Grant Ricks. That's Wallace. Final tackle now. 23.5 minutes remaining in the match. Field with the kick. It's going to be taken back there by Joey Kilroy. Kilroy up over the halfway. Here he is, flying through. Still going. Determined to make up all the ground he can. And Cowan, the man to tackle him. The ball rolling loose in the tackle, so it's picked up by, cutting through there, Bobby Lindner. Lindner taken care of in the tackle by McGann. So now Eddie Muller from dummy half. Turns it back, running onto it is Paulson. 20 metres out from the New Zealand line. Dummy half Muller, Henrik, then Kellaway. Not sure what to do. Eventually gets it back to Henrik. On there to Kajewski. Kajewski with a bustling run, but just caught there by Wallace. Dummy half is Muller. Muller back to Henrik. Then Ricks. Now back inside of Meninga. Meninga charging through. Got it back inside. Taken there for Queensland by Colin Scott. The final tackle's on its way. Henrik puts up the bomb. Flying through the air was Alfeld. He's lost the ball. Bobby Lindner with it, just short of the line. Another 6 tackles touched by the opposition. Kilroy is the dummy half. Kilroy lets loose, putting his head down and driving for the line is Paulson, but he's held up. No try.
Well, that was good work from Queensland to come back strongly. Good run from Meninga. Good passing. And I tell you what, that Paulson's having a roaring. Here's a game, a short go. And I tell you what, he threw everything at that, but couldn't get the ball down. They held him up fairly and squarely.
So here's the scrum to back down. 10 metres out from the New Zealand line. One against the feed. Little Rossi Henrik thrown to the ground by McGann, but a chance for the Maroons now. See what they can do with it. This is Bob Kellaway. Kellaway put down about 4 metres out. Muller from dummy half. New Zealand lead by 14 to 12. That's Kajewski. Dummy half is Muller. Muller puts his head down and he's in. Muller quickly from the dummy half, dived over for the try. And Queensland right back into it. There's Rossi Strudwick and Russell Klein watching the match up there.
Oh, that was a good try from Muller. He summed that up. Everyone, including the Queenslanders and all the New Zealanders, look at him. They're all calling out of the back line. Look at the gap. It opened up like a sardine can, and he said, this is lovely.
Here's a good hit on of it. Wow, no one in inside. Eddie Muller worked it out nicely. Was shaping up to let it go to the right. It went to the left and jumped in for the try.
And that's the one they needed, Bill.
Queensland lead by 16-14. And Mal Meninga attempting to rack up another 2 points. They'll be two very, very handy ones.
And I can assure you, it's still not over.
A little bit of rain coming down. You can just see it drizzling down there, Mick.
Yes, it is too.
Which has made our crew down there very happy.
I had a nice star-lit drive up this evening. I don't know where the rain's come from.
Till you hit that radar. The flying fruitman came to a halt. Here's a kick by Meninga. Another 2 points on the board. Queensland leading by 18-14 at Lang Park.
Champions unleashed evermore.
Electronic Sales try of the match at the conclusion of this game here tonight. Well, that's evening things up a bit now, Mick, with New Zealand scoring 3 tries to 2.
Yes, they're still well in this game.
That's Kellaway. Unloaded it. Cutting up there is Eddie Muller again. The hooker over the halfway. Put the ground on the tackle of McGann.
It's amazing how many men Kellaway can draw in and then let it go when he does it.
So here's Meninga. O'Regan going at him fairly high. Dean Bell into the tackle. So too is the 5'8" in field. Kellaway to Henrik. Henrik to Ricks. Then to Bob Lindner. Lindner cutting back inside, and here he goes. A lock forward on the bustle again. He's got some toe. Sends it over the top. It's bouncing away. Picked up by Henrik. Lost by Henrik. Going back there will be Krieger, and he gets it for New Zealand.
What a pity. Lindner's making the breaks, but better to hold on to it and play it safe rather than throw those dodgy passes.
That's Elfeld bringing it up for New Zealand. The dummy half there is Wallace. New Zealand bringing it up onto the quarter line now. The man with it there is O'Regan. Away from dummy half Wallace. Back onto field. Then quickly cleared by McGann. And this is the winger, Krieger.
Well done, Muller, the ankle tackle.
Kick through and a Queensland ball. Kick through by Tony Curry. Bounce back straight in the hands of Muller. So it's Curry. Back inside to Kajewski. He got away from the first up tackle of Friend, but didn't get away from the next one. Pine was the tackler. This is Kellaway. Back inside to Jones on the bustle. He's over the quarter line. Coming up to the fullback, but oh, he slipped over there. Queensland coming home nice and strongly now. Henrik to Ricks. Ricks to Meninga. Got the pass back inside. I don't know how. To Ricks, then away to Henrik. Henrik turns it on to Kellaway. Kellaway bustling through. Lost, dived on, retained by Queensland. And it's Paulson. Eddie Muller away from the dummy half. He goes that blindside again. Final tackle on its way. Kajewski is the dummy half. The Queensland lead is 18-14. Henrik. There's the bomb by Henrik. Not a bad one either. Going up is Shearer. The ball rolling loose. Pounced on over there by Lindner, but it's no try.
Not forward. Good decision by Mr. Ward.
Well, he was dead set in line with it, Mick.
Yes, it was not forward, Bill, as we'll see on the replay. Here it is, a beautiful bomb. Tell you what, that Curry's getting right into it, but as you can see, oh, dodgy. I thought it went forward, but we'll have another look at it from the head on.
Dale Shearer, the man flying through for Queensland. I don't know, Mick.
No, it looked pretty fair to me. Changed my mind, but that's what Eddie Ward saw first up too, so you can't blame him.
But he didn't have the replays to go.
That's what I mean.
So it's Wilson about to play it now. Would have been a handy try for Queensland just the same. McGann losing it in the tackle. Dived at there by the hooker Wallace. Although I think he'll pay it to Paulson. Yes, he will. So from the play the ball. Ricks. Outside then to Gavin Jones. Jones running around a bit now. He straightens up. Can he get the pass away? No, he can't. Knocked to the ground of the tackle of Pine. Just on the New Zealand quarter line. Away from dummy half. Henrik. Outside to Kellaway. Kellaway on the bustle. Right there. He's lost it in the tackle. Picked up then by Wilson. Wilson back onto Alderley. Allfield, rather.
Oh, and he ran into Jones.
Jones.
Jeez, whiz.
So Field is the dummy half. Deciding to run it. Henrik, the tackler. Done a heap of work tonight, this little fella. When we're talking about good players, of course, the Canterbury man of the match. $200 worth of Canterbury gear. Tell you about that at the conclusion of the game. Just under 16 minutes remaining in this match.
And that's a hot job for me tonight. I'll give you the drum, Bill.
You're quite welcome to it, Michael. Of course, if you need any assistance, I will not be available. So here's O'Regan putting in the kick. Straight downfield. Colin Scott is back there. Queensland fullback up over the halfway. But the tackle from Wallace. Good tackle. Henrik. Linda losing it. Or rather Paulson. So the scrum 10 metres inside New Zealand territory. 4 points the difference. Queensland leading 18-14.
There's Lowe sitting up, studying the form.
The mad butcher, it says on the front of his hat. I think he's got a few of them out on that field too. So in by Friend. Referee Ward telling the Queenslanders to stay back onside. There was a little bit of rugby tactics there.
Yes, trying to put them all offside.
Back inside a Friend. After Field got it. Colin Scott there. Says, come here, I want to put you into the ground.
He's a real jack in the box, isn't he?
Yes, both those halves giving it plenty. McGann, O'Regan, then Bell. Or rather, no, it's the fullback coming in, Alfeld. He'll play it. Wallace is the dummy half. Wallace across field. Dummied away to the 5/8 field, but kept going himself. He's about 8 metres short of the halfway mark. New Zealand still in their own territory. So Field, McGann, onto O'Regan, then to Bell. Well wrapped up this time, though.
I guess who?
Yeah, little Henrik. Field, popping back the other way. Put to the ground by Kajewski. So it's Friend putting in a little kick. Picked up by Colin Scott. Scott in turn put down on the tackle of Alfeld. Dummy half is Kellaway. On to Kilroy. Kilroy coming in from that wing. He wants to get into the action. Muller from dummy half. Henrik, Ricks, then away to Gavin Jones. Lost the ball in the tackle. But it's into touch. Rapati? No, he's playing the knock-on part of that.
Oh, and Rapati injured too, as you can see on screen there.
Yeah, well,
bit of a limp.
Right leg is well strapped up, Mick. Obviously, that's been a bit of a problem before.
Low early in the game when they threw in the ball, he had no thoughts about that.
No, there was nothing wrong on that occasion at all.
It created havoc.
Crowd over there in the grandstand not too happy about the feed, but here's Alfeld with it. Put down in the tackle this time of Colin Scott. Field from dummy half. McGann, then away to Bell. He got it back to McGann. McGann to Creeker. Creeker's lost it. Ball rolling loose. But he regathers. So we'll have the scrum. 12.5 minutes to go. Next Rugby League on TVO is Saturday afternoon, live and exclusive. First Rugby League test between Australia and Great Britain from the Sydney Cricket Ground. Here's Lindner. Henrik back onto Kellaway. Kellaway trying to push away right, but he can't. Also McGann into the tackle. Dummy half Muller, Paulson, Ricks. Ricks got it away nicely to Colin Scott on the burst. Scott got the pass away. I'd say it's carried forward, which it has. Well and truly by the time Kilroy arrived on the scene.
Oh, that was good play too. The young 5'8" showing his wares there, as you can see on the replay. Beautifully to Scott. And Scott just a little slow to pop it up. Reflexes just a bit slow for Colin on that occasion.
Now, scrum almost on the New Zealand quarter line. In by Friend, out by Friend.
Tell you what, they're winning some ball, aren't they, Bill? What are the scrums to this stage?
Not a great deal in the scrums, only 10-8, mate.
It just looks that way.
Queensland have 1-2 against the feed, so... Round the corner this time to Alfeld, who is felled in the tackle this time of Tony Curry. So now it's Wallace. Taken once again by Curry. Bell, the dummy half. Fields, O'Regan, McGann. Back on then to Wright. Right back to McGann. McGann with a long one to Friend. Friend outside to Alfeld. Alfeld cutting back inside. Kellaway with the tackle, but on to Friend again. Looking for support. There was none about. And eventually pulled down by Tony Curry. 10 minutes to go. They just can't leave any leeway for these boys. Following it after it is Field, trying to kick it through. It carries across field. Kellaway knocks it on, but a penalty New Zealand. That player offside.
Yes, Kellaway was offside. It was Scott that kicked it forward. Last player to touch it, but can't blame Kellaway. Watch it here on the replay. A good little short kick. Came off Scott. And of course, Kellaway, he wasn't going to let them go marching off with that. Had to pick it up.
We'll see Ron O'Regan have a shot at goal.
And I've fined it down to about 4 players so far, Bill. I wonder if Canterbury can come up with 4 sets of gear.
Well, they outfitted you so they can do anything.
Yes, Kellaway, Lindner, Henrik, and there's another one there too. And Paulson.
O'Regan's had 1 shot at goal, none from 1.
So the viewers are going home and start helping. It's a bit late for a phone call by the time you see this.
Here's O'Regan on his way. How is this one? This one is no good. Waved away.
The insurance market.
Queensland are 18.
The champions unleashed evermore.
From the quarter line, back there to Alfeld. 9 minutes of the match remaining. 4 points is the difference. Dummy half is Wallace. New Zealand about 8 metres short of the halfway. That's O'Regan. Trying to get back to Wallace. Then Friend. Friend stepping up the centre of the little halfback. Unloads it. Wallace trying to get it around the corner. It'll be picked up by Wilson though. Wilson still going. Colin Scott comes in. They smother him up. Dummy half is Friend. Friend back on then to Wright. Long one over there to McGann. He in turn clears it to Bell. Bell can't get away from Henrik's tackle. Dummy half up there was Alfeld. This time it's Chappie Pine. He's been one of the replacements for New Zealand. Alfeld was the other. Field. Underneath this time is Paulson. Dummy half. Wallace. Back onto Friend. Now McGann. McGann cutting through nicely. It's going to be knocked down by Curry. Shaped a kick on that occasion, Field, and then kept going.
And that was good play too. Classy play. There's Arthur Beetson watching his side.
25 metres out from the Queensland line. In by Friend, then to Field. Puts in a little kick on the first tackle. Tony Curry losing it. It's going to be picked up over there by Creek. No, it's not Creeker. It's Rapati. No, it's not. It's Bell, the man over there with it eventually. O'Regan, big long one, back over the top. It'll be taken there by Cowan. Then McGann. McGann back to no one. Kicked across field, still going. And it'll be Cowan ending up with it. Turns it back inside. This is Creeker.
6 to go again.
So here's a bit of pressure on its way. 7 minutes remaining in the match. 4 points the difference. This is Wright. Pushed away the first up tackle of Muller. Then on to Wilson. Dummy half will be Friend. Friend back the other way. Wilson again. Pulled to the ground in the tackle of Kajewski. Friend. Wright. Wright still going. Over the quarter line. Got away to McGann. McGann pulled down in the tackle. Scott the man underneath. Field the dummy half. But a knock on in there.
Oh, great pressure football from New Zealand and very good defence from Queensland. And if you think they're not knocking them over, it's because they're doing wonders with that ball. They're dummying, they're stepping even at this late stage of the game. And they're a pretty tricky lot.
So here's the scrum. Ross Hendrick to feed. Henrik back onto Colin Scott coming into the action. Scott just pulled down. Had Meninga bursting through on the inside.
Once again, a little slow to get. See, he's slow to his feet, Colin, and if he'd have got that pass inside to Meninga, I'd say it was look out.
Meninga from the dummy half. Put down in the tackle of Owen Wright. It's Paulson. 20 metres short of halfway. 5.5 minutes in the match left. Henrik driving downfield. Alfeld going back there for New Zealand. Alfeld eventually picks it up. Just short of the quarter line there. So away from dummy half is Field. New Zealand captain tonight. Wallace. Doubling around this time. Muscling his way through. Is the centre Bell. O'Regan. On then to Wilson. Linda the tackler, ball and all. Creeker's dummy half. Creeker back inside to Wright. Following through out after it is Muller, but there's a knock on. So the scrum run on the New Zealand quarter line. Halfback Friend to feed this scrum. 4.5 minutes remaining. The Queensland lead is 18-14. Down they go, charging into it. Friend. Cutting away. Now gets his pass to Field. Keeps it nicely. O'Regan on to Dean Bell. Bell with a little bit of room to move. Claps on the pace. Colin Scott at him. Shearer in, or Kilroy in from that wing, and they bowled him over. About to play it. Back over in centre field now. O'Regan. Just on the halfway mark is put to the ground. He'll play it. Wallace dummy half. Wallace back on then to Friend. Right over the top. That's Rapati.
I think he has injured that leg a little. He didn't go that time, Bill.
No, he's fairly reticent there, and he's favouring that leg quite a bit. Here's a little kick through now by Friend. Going through is McGann. It'll be picked up by Colin Scott, though. Scott put down by Cowan in the tackle.
Yes, he picked Cowan up very quickly.
He's very slow to get back onto his feet, Colin Scott, too. Here's Kellaway. The ball rolling loose. Going to be picked up by Paulson. Queensland 10 metres short of the halfway mark. Eddie Muller from dummy half. Kajewski. Muller taking plenty of time. I think they've had a look at that clock, Mick. They can see there's only 3 minutes remaining. Taking their time. They have a 4-point advantage over New Zealand at this stage.
Tell you what, they won't want to ruck it up slowly, or these guys will carve them in half.
There's Henrik kicking for touch. Rapati is going to be in trouble to get there. He's virtually a passenger now, Mick.
Yes, you're right. And Henrik summing the situation up. There's Rapati.
Obviously doesn't want to leave the field and leave the team one man down. It's a pity he played very strongly in that first half.
Yes, I think that leg's given out on him.
Henrik turning it back inside. That's Kilroy. Queensland trying to get a try in the last few minutes of the match. This is Bobby Lindner. Lindner about 7 or 8 metres out from the New Zealand line. Kilroy to dummy half. Puts her head down. Diving for the line, Joe Kilroy, but just pushed back from it. Lindner dummy half again. Lindner touch back inside to Henrik, but he's lost it. Close to the line. Field is going to be caught in the in-goal area. But a knock-on prior to that by Ross Henrik. Players lying everywhere down there at the moment.
Oh, it's tough stuff. It's been tough for 80 minutes. Great game of football.
Time ticking away now, though.
Yes, just under the 2 minutes, and New Zealand will have to pull out a miracle, I think. Although they're capable of doing that with what we've seen of them.
Clayton Friend about to play it. McGann, the dummy half. McGann lets it fly. Alfeld over there. Kick through, another 6 tackles. Came off the knee there of the hooker in Wallace. Alfeld from dummy half. That's right. Straight on to Charlie Pine.
I think it went a little forward, that one.
So now here's, a big run coming through there from field.
Oh, he's a nippy little customer.
Into the final minute of the match now. The Queensland lead is 18-14. O'Regan puts the kick in. They've got to try anything at this stage. Shearer up there, takes it nicely. And Bell was the man in underneath. He'll play it about 4 or 5 metres short of the halfway mark. Way from dummy half. Tony Curry. Well, they had to try something there, I guess.
Yes, although he could have dummied for the kick too and created a bit of havoc there.
But New Zealand tries by Bell, McGann and Pine. Queensland tries Meninga and Muller. Meninga 5 from 6. Wright 1 from 3 from New Zealand. And O'Regan none from 2. Scrums of the match have gone New Zealand way by 13-10. The penalties have ended up 7-all. Queensland won 3 scrums against the feed. So now away from dummy half is Kajewski, carrying it up, the crowd counting down to get ready for the full-time hooter. And there it goes. Queensland defeating New Zealand tonight by 18 points to 14. Queensland defeating New Zealand in a tough, torrid affair at Lang Park. 18 points to 14. Our Canterbury Man of the Match award, Mick.
And one of the most difficult decisions I've had to make this season goes to Bob Callaway in a very, very close run. He had a big game, Bob Callaway, and he was ably supported by Bob Linder and all of them, and Ross Henrik. Those two players really pushed him, but I've given it to Callaway. He's come into the side and played very, very well in the tough stuff tonight.
So there's $200 worth of quality Canterbury gear for big Bob Callaway. Be the smartest man out there at the markets, won't he, Mick?
I don't think he'll make the markets tomorrow morning after that effort.
Okay, so there's Graham Lowe going down to congratulate the Queenslanders as they leave the field. He's a great sportsman, Graham Lowe, but he can be quite happy with the performance of New Zealand tonight, even though they didn't win. They provide us with a great game of rugby league. Queensland 18, New Zealand 14. Back with electronic sales and rentals. Try out the match in just a moment.
The champions unleashed evermore.
Interesting match here at Lang Park tonight. A win for Queensland over New Zealand. Nice, tough encounter, though, Mick. Quite enjoyable.
That was really tough. You know, we've been a little spoiled with that State of Origin match, but those boys really threw themselves at each other. A superb game of football.
All right, let's have a look at our electronic sales and rentals try of the match right now. Your entry form will be in the Daily Sun tomorrow, and all you have to do is fill it in, send it in to us, and you could be the winner of a great prize, which I'll tell you about in just a moment. Here's the man stepping out for the try, scored a try, kicked plenty of goals, had a good match all the way around.
And
all you have to do
this evening, yes.
All you have to do is tell us who it is. That entry form will be in the Daily Sun tomorrow, and fill it out, write the name of that player, send it in to us at TVO, and we could draw you out for this great prize from Electronic Sales and Rentals, the video recorder, plus 300 movie swaps. So there it is. Quite simple. All right, well, our next time, Mick, will be Saturday from the Sydney Cricket Ground, the Test match, Australia and Great Britain, live and exclusive. And that comes your way at 3 o'clock this Sunday afternoon. Till then, we'll say a very good evening from Lang Park.
Next on...
Drunk and loose. It's war, not truce. The heroes and the villains take the field. See them live and watch them rumble as the mighty league men tumble. And the victors and the vanquished never yield. Join the champions unleashed. The champions unleashed. The thousands